Hey guys, it is me, dang it, editor dang it here. See, I was tired of not being a form and just being a black screen or sometimes SCP-173, so I decided to add myself into the editor. But today, this video is edited way differently than my other videos. But today, we're talking about what towers you should use if you're a noob. So, like, let's say you're level 0 and you don't know what tower to buy as a level 0 noob. But we're not going to talk about any other towers above 900 coins, which you can see by this image. Anything in red means that it will be talked about in the video. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. Hopefully you enjoy. This is going to take me like 1 hour to edit. Please like and subscribe. I don't ask you much to do this, but editing is hard now. Please, I beg you. I love how you can see my mouse move around this image. You know, I thought this would be more funny in my head. Okay guys, the first tower we're going to talk about is Shape Gunner. Literally the starter tower. You can get this for $0.00. See, there's pros and cons to this tower. So when you place it down, it starts off with a slow fire rate, which could, you know, end your run. And also, before I shot this video, I should mention that I had charms on, and I didn't realize I had charms on, so like, you know, kind of messed up the testing, but overall you should get like the same results, honestly. The charms don't do much, but yeah, the slow fire rate could stack up to your death, but in my experience, just spamming a bunch of level 0 should get the trick done. And there's one problem with this tower that I mainly see, is that it has poor camo detection. See, camo is where you get to see ghost cubes. If you know, I don't think it's called camo detection, but you know what, we're gonna talk about it. But the camo detection would cost you over around, like, I don't know, 7 grand, I believe. I honestly forgot. But the range and damage is pretty good for a starter tower. It has around, like, I don't know, some decimal of DPS. I really suck with decimals, so I'm not going to calculate it. But it's overall a good tower. But it does start off with a slow fire rate, has pretty poor camo detection. So I would just use it as an early game tower, which is what most noobs are going to use it as. But this tower can also be used in game modes with, like, insane, not with insane, but like for insane. If you have the right charms, this tower could be a really good tower. Plus the range is really good. The range and damage, like I said, is really good for the cost of $0.00. I'm glad that there's a starter tower in a TD game that can be used in the game modes, like, you know, advanced modes like insane mode. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Shape Gunner. Our next tower is the Pistol Tier. Personally, one of my favorite towers, and I think this tower is underlooked because Shape Gunner. But Pistol Tier has a pretty good fast fire rate at the first level, which is a huge pro, raising the damage per second on the first level for what, 500 plus the placement cost. I feel like that's one of the best DPSs you can get for early game. Like, you start in with $500, place a level 1 pistol, or level 2 I believe, Pistol Tier, and boom, it can tread like the first like 3 waves, especially for taking down wave 10. And this damage for the Pistol Tier, it could fall off mid-game, but it's still a great starting tower. It can take down the King Cube pretty easily in numbers, because Pistol Tier is so cheap. If you spam a bunch of level 3s, you're getting like up to like 150 DPS, I believe, per second, assuming if all your like pistol tiers shoot at the same time. I think 150 is wrong, but you know, who am I to say? It is really cheap. And one thing I didn't mention, oh wait, I did mention the camo detection for Shape Gunner, but it is really cheap to get hidden detection for Shape Gunner, especially when you killed the boss on wave 10, which should be with Pistol Tiers. I feel like Shape Gunner's good for insane, but Pistol Tier solos normal mode. But it's really cheap hidden detection for what the tower is. You can get hidden detection at level 3 for around $800, no, like $900. It is really cheap, and this is in-game cash, not like coins or anything. It has good range for the price. It definitely gets outclassed by Pistol Tier's range, but holy crap, for the price you're paying for a Pistol Tier, like a really cheap tower, honestly, you're doing really great for the range. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Pistol Tiers. Guys, use it. Give it a chance. It is OP. It's OP, and it costs you $0.00 too. Alright, our next tower is the Swordsman. See, this tower is kind of a balance act because the tower is so cheap. I believe 300 Geo coins, which means you could just redeem a few coins and get this thing, or do a pistol tier grinding strategy, which I will upload tomorrow. Probably would be mentioned at the end of the video as well. For Swordsman, it is a really great tower. It does great damage. It's okay range, but it's literally a melee tower, so I can't really be complaining about, oh no, melee tower has bad range, this game sucks. Nah, I can't really be saying that, but it does great damage for relatively cheap. It's like, I feel like that's why I said it was a really balanced act for me, because it's like, it's such a good damage cost for how much you're putting into it. And these towers, I forgot to mention, but these towers are really good solo, like all of them, no matter what you're doing, because you get extra cash at the start. So yeah, all of these towers are rated based on solo and not multiplayer, but multiplayer is a whole different aspect, which I'll talk about later. But Swordsman does have the small range, which leads to bad performance on speedy guys, especially with like cylinders, like the fast cylinders. I believe they're cylinders, like sideways cylinders that go really fast for 410 HP. Like if they're fast and get out of the Swordsman's range and you don't have any extra DPS killing it, yeah. And these towers are being rated by themselves just to give you the most accurate, like, you know, performance. But yeah, if you got a speedy guy coming up and they have high HP, I don't know, man. It kind of sucks. It's very cheap hidden detection. The first upgrade, I forgot what it was, but you get basically hidden detection for the first upgrade. So if you ever need to clutch up something, need hidden detection because you forgot, just place down a Swordsman, and yeah, it should be able to deal with that. And the last upgrade of Swordsman does a staggering 50 DPS. I don't know. I'll calculate that later. Maybe. Who knows? But for what Swordsman is, a melee tower, it could be used in insane mode. It could be used for speedrunning. I would give it a really big buy. Since we're talking about buying towers now, I would recommend, I'm going to now start saying buy or no buy, or buy it when you have all the towers or something like that. But yeah, that ends pretty much for Swordsman. Okay, so we're going to talk about Militant. See, this is probably going to be the longest segment of the video. But man, I have some things to say about Militant. See, in my testing, this Militant got to wave 20, which is quite impressive. But one of the things is that it struggled. Like, even with all my charms combined, I have pretty good charms, by the way. In fact, I know this for a fact. It's not, I'm just going to go out a hunch. But I would have died without my charms from Militant, so I try to keep this as like, you know, fair as possible. But I think I would have died on wave 15. See, I was writing a script for this video, and I wrote down quotation, struggled at wave 15. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves correctly, I struggled on wave 15, and if my towers didn't get the range for my charms, we would have lost. So Militant, I'm pretty sure it's like 850 in, no, it's like 600. I forgot what it is in the Geo coins, but no matter how much it is, even if it's like 1, which, yeah, actually, if it was 1, definitely buy it. But like, it's alright, it does great damage, but it's really inefficient. See, why would you go for a level 1 upgrade Militant when you could place down another one? I wrote this down also, like, just all the upgrades just seem pretty inefficient until like the last 2, so yeah. It's quite something confusing. And also, adding to the confusion part, like, I don't understand where this tower goes. It's an early game tower only when you're playing solo, because it's just so darn expensive if you want to like use it to kill wave 10 that it's not just a viable option. Like duo, I mean, maybe. Trio, definitely not. Just use Swordsman for your early defense. But like, it just doesn't fit in early game, mid game, or late game. Of course, late game, no one will use a Militant late game. But I can't really find a spot for Militant. I really find Militant quite disappointing, because even after many buffs, nerfs, etc., it's still okay. I mean, if you have the coins, if you plan to grind something like Smasher or something, yeah, maybe buy Militant. If you're playing with a group of friends, probably don't buy Militant. Just buy Swordsman. You get more DPS already. You know, yeah. But like, I don't really know what to make about Militant, because it's like, it's not, I don't want to call it, it's not trash, it's not the best, it is like there. It's like it gets outclassed by Swordsman, and I'm gonna go on a hunch here. If you're not using pistol tier for later game, yeah, it outclasses um pistol tier outclasses Militant. But I will have to say one thing about Militant. This could be used as an early solo, especially mostly only solo early game tower. But if you're really dedicated to the cost, like you're gonna spend millions of dollars on Militant. That was a joke, by the way. You'll probably spend up like maybe 200 grand, I don't know, on Militants. Yeah, you can use it as a semi mid game tower, but it does struggle on wave 15. For reference, I did get 4 max Militants at wave 15, and we still struggled, which I think spamming just level 1s is a strategy. But yeah, Militant, I would say pass, don't buy unless you're like, if you have like the towers or something. You really don't. Yeah, I don't think you should buy it. But anyways, that's pretty much it for Militant. Alright, it's time for my personal favorite tower. This tower doesn't even get affected by charms, and holy crap, dude, it is so good for the price. See, in my opinion, the best tower here for not only early, kinda, I mean, if you watch the video, the background video, you can see it actually does really great early for some reason. I mean, yeah, I lost 140 HP, but like, I mean, that's fine. I mean, I didn't die, but holy crap, for a tower so cheap. Oh, here's the pros about Trapper. The tower is cheap, not only in the shop, 800 geo coins, I believe, but in game for 300 ram damage. This is a tower that plays spikes and does, like, you know, ram damage, collidable damage, you know what I mean? And it does great. It is so cheap, detects hidden at level 0 basically, so cheap hidden detection. One of those spikes, these spikes can stack, I don't know infinitely, but these guys could stack. The cons are pretty much slow fire rate, but you can upgrade that to counter it. And cause Trapper's so cheap, holy crap, you could get it to higher levels pretty fast, and it does some great damage. Like 300 plus damage for level 4, I believe, level 3, I don't remember, but it can literally do 100 ram damage at like its first upgrade, which is 900 cash, and that is really good for what that is. That is such a great tower for how it is. Just overall a juicy tower. This tower alone can make it to wave 20, and I didn't even mention that this tower can help out so much with chipping down towers for like Ray Blaster or even Swordsman, even Shape Gunner, Pistol Tier. Like, this tower is a great chip down for higher HP foes. Even the Guardians, because this thing stacks so much. Here, I'll throw up a screenshot right now. This thing stacks so much that it could chip down even the highest HP foes. I got to wave 20 again, and I chipped down around 10,000, even with Trapper placement. A con is Trapper placement. You kind of just need to know Trapper, like maybe sell and replace Trapper until you want the placement you get. But relatively, it's really good in where you want it to be. Man, Trapper is really juicy tower. And before I say anything else, yep, this is a definitely buy. If you have the coin, just always buy Trapper. I personally think it's my favorite tower in the game right now. It is really good. It is really dang good. So yeah, Trapper is a good round tower. It could carry mid-game. No, literally carry mid-game. I consider it mid-game to wave 10 to 20. If you don't know what mid-game is, that's pretty much mid-game, because you may consider like, oh yeah, 21 to 25, dude, that's literally the stretch of the game. That's like the end game. But Trapper can contribute to the end game, and mid-game can practically carry the mid-game too. Like, only this tower alone can carry the mid-game. So yeah, it's such a juicy tower. Personally, one of my favorite towers. This is such a great investment. It's really cheap, not only in-game but also coin-wise. But yeah, that pretty much does it for the Trapper. Like, guys, there's a major elephant in the room. I had way more than pistol tier, swordsman, militant, also trapper, and shape gunner. See, I didn't review geofarm or medic because I think it's quite obvious. I'm pretty sure it's quite obvious why I don't have them here, because they're mainly support. Medic doesn't even do that much great damage, but there's also jet base. See, I'm not gonna lie, jet base to me have so many problems. Way too expensive, does little damage. You could literally get trapper for a few hundred more coins and be better. See, it's so bad. It's so bad I didn't even buy it, and I could buy it for the video, but like it doesn't. I don't think jet base is really worth it. It's just way too expensive. It's way too expensive for what it is, and I wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, there's the towers you can buy is obvious swordsman, militant. Well, if you want to, militant is a if you want to test a militant out. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but like if you want to really see militant, isn't really that bad. You could buy it. So yeah, these towers are really good. These towers you get pretty much for free. These guys are the meta early game. These towers either are like support or they really can't do much. And jet base kind of like the only tower is garbage. Just pretty garbage in my opinion. And who knows, I might make a sequel to part 2 for this category of towers. Besides machinist or machinist, of course, because that's support. But that's pretty much the video. Thank you for watching. And if you remember from the intro, yes, this did take me an hour and 21 minutes, I believe, to edit. So yeah, subscribe.